So everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David in the Sukkah. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. We made our rounds, right, Mordechai? We're in Moldova, in Human, right now back in Eretz Yisrael, in the Efrat, and now we're in the Sukkah. Baruch Hashem. All right, so we're learning this amazing idea about the thoughts, right? Keeping the thoughts straightened out and learning how to always have the right thoughts and not to let any thoughts that are not pure in our head. And we learned it with a hair's breadth, that when you sense it coming in, so right away switch it. And what beautiful advice that we have from the Rebbe. So today, now we're going to say, we were learning this idea of the omer tenufa, right, the waving, right? Now, once we're talking about some karbanos, so Nosson is going to bring in the thing over here of the yud. There are 13 different levels that they used to sift the flour before they would use it for the carbon for a mincha offering. Right, before they would use the flour, it would be sifted 13 different ways. Unbelievable. Right? Daka min adaka, like we say, like we have when it comes to the ketoros, right? Everything has to be very, very fine. Everything, oh, wow. Everything is supposed to be, had to be sifted very, very finely. Let's see now inside. Lamed Daled. Right, the carbon omer, right? The omer was sifted, right? With that, the best way to do it, right? It's sifted. It was sifted 13 different ways. Because you have to take care of your mind. You have to sift out your mind that same way. You have to clean out all of the stuff. You see that? It is amazing. Sift out all of the stuff. Sift out all of the stuff so that way the good stuff goes through, you leave it in, and the other stuff you can just discard it. A filter on the cell phone, okay. Yeah. Well, the filter on the cell phone just doesn't let things in. Right, here we're saying this filter, you put the flour through, you put everything through, and you sift out, right? You sift out, what?
You sifted out the good.
Right, well, like we're going to use the next example. We're going to see about a sieve now, right? Like they can do with wine, right? When you're doing with wine, you can use a sieve, right? We'll see. Let's look inside. Let's see. Okay, so basically the main thing is to make sure you clean out all the material in the mind so finely. That's the point, okay? All right, now. Okay, shenikra b'shem actually it's not okay. V'zichu chamayach b'shleimus nikra b'shem nofa. How do you like that? The process of the mind, cleaning out your mind, the same way as it's that same sifting process. Is that amazing? That idea?
It's a wonderful idea. I'm trying to figure out how he does it.
How do you do it? Well, you have to, because we started off of David. Oh, there we go. We learned the idea that, in the morning, what you have to do is always find something good, right? Yeah. When you get up in the morning, you always find...
Did he leave something here for me?
No, he did, but you weren't here, so he left with it. Okay, yeah. He'll give it to you, don't worry about it. Okay, so it's called nafa, okay, you understand? So in the morning, you have to find only something good. Attached to something good, right? That good material. Now you have to also sift through it because sometimes the Yetzer will tell you, well, is that thing really good? Amen. You have to have a cookie there, David. You have to. Yeah. Mishnah, as the Mishnah says in Pirkei Avos, Arba Midos, there are 4 different levels. If you come to learn Torah before the Chacham, the Mishnah Pirkei Avos says you have to do it in 4 different ways. There are 4 different things you have to do, steps that you have to do when you want to study Torah. This is what it says. Look at this. The first thing is svug. Svug. Right? You have to be like a sponge, right? What's a svug? A sponge, right? You have to soak everything up. Soak everything, the material up. Just listen. Listen to all the material. Take in all the material. You don't necessarily process it yet, just to take in all the material. All right, next one. Mashvech, you have to, what do you call it? You have to sort of say categorize your learning, something like that, right? It's like it's something like this. There's like a lot of information that comes out. Like it's the word like the pilot. It's like almost like a. What do they say inside there? What do they say?
They call it a funnel.
Mashpech is a funnel.
Yeah. A funnel, umashmareres kli right? Which is mashmeres is the next one, which is also an idea where you could take out the what do you call it? It's like a sieve almost, right? Where you could take from the wine. You could clean. What do you call it? You put it through a what do you call that? A sieve.
It seems like it gets finer.
Gets finer
with everything. A funnel.
Yeah.
Kind of gets,
a funnel, right? You funnel it so the big things get out, and then you can use a strainer, a sieve, right? A strainer, right. V'nofa, then you can use you can sift it. Now the nofa is the last one. That's the sifting, right? So you start out with this you just get all the material in. You put it through a funnel, right? Then you put it through the sieve, and then you put it through the sifter. So each time you're refining it even more and more and more. Right? So you take out this from the kemach, from the flour, like we said, and you take out all the impurity, all the other things that you don't want in there, and you make it very, very, very fine. Okay. That says what? The nafa, Rashi says, is the finest one of all of them. Okay, got it? Is the finest way you can sift, right? All the other ones are good, right? But the 4 examples that we had, right? First, you soak it in.
You need all 4.
You need all 4, but the nafa is the best one, right? Because first you take in all the material, then you can use like a funnel it through, so whatever big impurity is there won't fit through the funnel. Then you go through the sieve. Then you can go through the sifter. Okay. Ayin sham kizeh ha'ika likleit ba'amayach es hatoy va'azach shehu bechina soiles lidchais hashar lachut. So whatever's good in your mind you take, and everything else you discard. You just keep good things in the mind. All the other stuff you just discharge. Isn't that a nice idea?
It's a very nice idea. I'm trying to imagine, how do I discharge what I just read?
What do you mean?
And sponged it, like a sponge, I was absorbing it.
With what? You want to give an example?
I don't have an example.
Through. I think that's where it is.
What?
I'm just showing them where we're at here.
Okay, V'al Kain Haya Menufa B'Shleish Esrei Nafam, and therefore they did it 13 different times. They would run it through this this thing 13 different times. So if you didn't get it the first time, the second, third, 3, 4, and so on, until they would get it 13 times, it'll be so pure. So pure. So that's how we have to make sure our minds are that pure. Because we know the Torah, there's 13, I'm Rabbi Shmuel, right? We said it in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
All right, we have the 13 different principles of how the Torah is, you learn out things from the Torah, right? Shem klal ha-Torah shetzrichen lekabel b'shuos ayidei mitzvahs omer, right? The mitzvah, the omer, when they did the carbon omer, so they would what do you call it? They would refine it so well. So therefore, the same way we have to do is, and we get it ready for Shavuos, the Torah, and the Torah we did it 13 times, and they would sift it 13 times, and we have to clean our minds so well as well. Okay. Ki kol hashloish esrei midai shatev in the dress for him, heim mechol adam mechol zman. The 13 principles of the way the Torah is learned out is within every person all the time. Is something wrong?
No.
Oh, okay. Ki ikar Torah hu hamasa k'moshe kosav lo hamidrash hu ha'ikar ela hamaisa. How do you like that? The main thing is that we learn here that the main thing is not your learning. The main thing is your doing.
You're doing.
To learn. So we learn Torah in order to know how to perform the mitzvahs, right? You want to be able to do the mitzvahs, right? But how are you going to do the mitzvahs? You don't learn about them. So if you study the Torah for the purpose of doing the mitzvahs, got it? Mm-hmm. Some people like to study Torah just because they find it's good for their mind. They like it's a mind exercise, right? It's a mind exercise, but they don't understand that the real ikar thing is you learn Torah, so you learn how to perform the mitzvahs. You know how to do the mitzvahs. That's an amazing idea, right?
But it's also because the mitzvot attach it to Hashem.
Well, of course, you're connecting to Hashem. There's the 613 advices. The mitzvahs, the 630 mitzvahs, the 600 different ways, ideas of how do you connect back to Hashem. Right.
Well, you said, of course. I'm saying it. I mean,
of course.
when you learn how to do the mitzvah,
yeah,
it's
of course. Yeah, no. Well, the reason why you want to do a mitzvah is because you want to connect to Hashem. But you defined it's very good. Very good. Okay, Ela Maisa. Malkin Tzrichin Lemaisa, Dahainu Kiyam Torah. You have to be Mekayim the Torah. That's the Maisa, being Mekayim, fulfilling the Torah. Fulfilling what the Torah says. Right? You can learn all you want about Shabbos. You can learn all you want about the Daled Minim, right? You can learn all you want about a sukkah, right? But if you don't make the sukkah, if you don't go get a Daled Minim, what good is it? Right? You cannot pick the lulav. It can be just right. It's closed on top, and it's straight, and it is. And the esrog is perfect like this. But the doesn't have to be mishulish, right? They have to go three on the same line, right? How many the shear, right? And all these different things. But if you don't get them, what good is it? Right? All the information, right? As Hashleish Esrei Midas, Ki Tzrichin Kama V'Kama Eitzeis Lamed Keneged. You need so many different ways. Masha Tzrichin Lamed. You need so many different advices to stand up against all the nonsense of the world, right? There's so much stuff out there. And we just need all the help that we can in order to keep us strong. To keep us connected. B'chola Eitzes Hamitis, והתמימוס שנמשכים מדברי צדיק אמיתים כולם כלולים בשליש עשרה מידה שהתורה נדרשת בהם. They're all connected to the 13. If you go through Shas, right? You see the Gzeir Shavi, you see Kal V'Kal, you see all the different things, all the different the ideas of how you learn things out through the Shas and through all the different teachings. And they're connected also to the 13 attributes of mercy. How do you like that? 13 is a big number, right? You learn there's 13 ways the Torah is darshaned out that you could study Torah, right? You have 13 principles of faith, and you also have the 13 attributes of mercy. Right, yeah. Wow, look at that. 13 is a big number, right?
Which are those?
What?
13 attributes of mercy. Is that
Hashem kel racham echad erech hapayim, right? Right, that's the 13 attributes. Okay. Shem bechinas telas tikuna the dikna. And the Arizal teaches that's connected to the 13 points of the beard. How do you like that? There are 13 points of the beard. The 13 points of the beard are the rachamim, right? The 13 points of the beard is rachamim, is mercy, right? The rest of the hair on the head, and the rest of the hair that we have, that's all din. So the hair on the beard is the rachamim, is the mercy, which counters the din. All right? Okay. 13 points on it.
What does that mean, 13 points of the beard?
There are 13 different points of the beard.
Okay.
We could study that. You could study it. There's 13 different parts of the beard. Okay?
Okay.
Shegili Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai. Rabbi Shimon taught us this in the Zayir HaKadosh. She'im sa'areis kedoshes tedikna. These are the holy hairs of the beard. So the beard has holy hair. It's something special, which is not the same as the rest of the hair on the face. Or the head, right? On the skull. Okay? The hair that you find on the beard, that's hair of rachamim. Shesham kulay rachamim b'chesed. Because there it's kulay rachamim b'chesed. There it's all mercy and kindness. That's all it is. So you want more mercy, more kindness to combat against the din. Vehem koifin umachnian esadinem nechazim b'sharei hasarais, and they combat against the din that you find on the other hair. Right? Does everyone understand this concept? Hello? Do you have anyone understand this concept? Right? So you have the beard and the hair on the beard. The hair on the beard is rachamim and chesed. against the rest of the hair. The rest of the hair is din. Right? Din. That's din. Yes. Yeah. So you want to have more. You want to have more. You want to have more mercy than you have din. Right? There we go. Behind the Hashem Yisbarach mashpia aleinu al yedei tzadikei emes sheheim bechinas dikna kadisha. The whole idea that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us the tzaddikim, right? The tzaddikim give us the teachings. The tzaddikim are part of the dikna kadisha because the tzaddikim give us the rachamim and the chesed, right? The tzaddikim teach us how to live our lives, how to be connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? That's rachamim, correct? Right? They have rachmanis on us, right? We know that the tzaddikim take they take the brunt of the punishment for Klal Yisrael. Did you know that? Did you know that tzaddikim take the punishment for Klal Yisrael? Yeah. They do that. That's what the tzaddikim do. They're full of mercy and chasadim. Unbelievable. Like you have the idea of a zokein, an old person that's molei rachamim. What does that mean? A zokein that HaKadosh Baruch Hu when we were on Har Sinai. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu was on Har Sinai, HaKadosh Baruch Hu appeared to us, whatever that means, like a melech zokein, like an elderly king, whatever that means. Again, there's nothing physical with Hashem, right? Right? Hello, guys. Right? There's nothing physical of Hashem. That's one of the 13 principles of our faith. Right? The HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not physical, but somehow there was some kind of an image or something that we saw. Again, I don't know. This is what Chazal tell us. That's how we could say it. But Chazal say there was some kind of an image. Maybe it was like some kind of a mirage. I have no idea. I have no idea what it was. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu appeared to us in some way, shape, or form, some way, as a melech zokein rachamim. Okay, all right. Okay, that's an amazing idea to understand because really we know that Hashem is nothing physical, right? We understand physical things, but Hashem is infinite. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu can't be any image because if he's any image, that means he's finite.
When was this?
By Har Sinai, when we accepted the Torah, right? When we got the Torah, when Hashem opened up the heavens, right? When Hashem opened up the heavens, and we saw. It says that the shifcha. That was by Kriyas Yamsuf. That was by Kriyas Yamsuf that the Shivcha saw, right? But by Har Sinai, we saw that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a Melech Rachmim. Okay. Here. Now, okay. Who mashpia leinu al yodam eitzes kedoshos v'neflois. And the tzaddikim teach, and the tzaddikim give over the teachings based on the principle of the mercy and the chesed that are connected to the beard. Maybe that's why you see when the tzaddikim is speaking, they'll hold their beard. You ever see that? You ever see that? They do it because they're drawing from the chesed and the rachma of the teaching. Perhaps that's the reason. No, it's just an idea, just something to think about, right? A cute idea, nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's connected again to the 13 principles of the beard, connecting to the 13 ways of studying the Torah, right? The 13 principles of studying Torah, which are connected to the 13 attributes of mercy. Right? Amazing, right? All these, the connections there, a blessing gives us. Paya, the dinin, then we come to have the hamtakas hadin, we have the way to sweeten up, to sweeten the judgment. That's what we're trying to do, is we're always trying to be mamtik the din. Try to be mamtik, sweeten the judgment. You know that, right? So that's why what we do is we take the challah, right? Challah is chesed, right? And din is, salt is din, right? So we take the challah and we dip the challah into the salt to be mamtik the din. Right? And then now we still use the honey, right? You still use the honey?
Right. Yeah,
right? So you put it into the honey, you want to make it even sweeter.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You want to make it even sweeter. Unbelievable, right? Such an idea, wonderful ideas. Unbelievable. Yeah. Okay. That's another thing with them when we shake the lulav. It's an idea also. I'll tell you another idea like this. How's this? So we start off with Haidul Hashem Ki Taiv Ki Li'olam Chazdai, right? In the Halal, right? We started with Haidul Hashem Ki Taiv Ki Li'olam Chazdai. And we thank Hashem for everything. It's good. But then we know we have sometimes things go a little bit difficult, and we say, Oh Hashem Mashiach. Save me, Hashem. Save me. That means we're in trouble. Save me, Hashem. Save me. And then what do? We go back to, we say, Haidul Hashem Ki Taiv Ki Li'olam Chazdai again, and we shake the lulav again. It's the same idea. We take the good, the challah, we dip it into the salt, and then we take the honey again, and we say, Haidul Hashem Ki Taiv Ki Li'olam Chazdai. Always thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for all of the good, and whenever we have any trouble, call out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and watch how HaKadosh Baruch Hu will always save us. We just have to cry out to Him. That's all He wants us to do. Okay, now, the Shebesar is the Hainu Ligore Levoyer, Kol HaMachshava Yisrois HaNechozim V'Asairas, to get rid of all of those Machshava Yisrois, all of those bad thoughts, all of those thoughts that are connected things of Torah, right? All bad thoughts, right? Any bad thoughts of immorality, any bad thoughts of, or whatever the case is, to just get rid of all of that nonsense that fills our head. Just get rid of it. So we're learning here that when it came to the Omer, right? So they would take the flour and they would sift it 13 different times. 13, so fine. Right? 13 times. You believe that, David? 13 times. They would put the flour through the thing again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. 13 times.
That's, I think that's 13 different sieves.
Yeah.
Each one finer than the next.
Okay, so either way, but you would go 13 principles, 13 times to finer and finer and finer. Unbelievable, right? Until you have like the cheese, the thing is so thin, right? It's so unbelievable. And that's how we have to work with our minds, to clean it up, get rid of the stuff, dispel all of the dross, dispel all of the junk, get rid of it. So we just left with pure thoughts in our mind, which keeps us always connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which we can then understand. We can always realize that we have the Anani HaKavod, which is the Tzeilah de Menusa, right? The Sukkah, that we're sitting with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Sukkah, the Sukkah has to be at least 2 walls and a tefach, right? That's the law. Right? So why is it 2 walls and a tefach? The Baal Shem Tov says, you know why? Because 2 walls and a tefach is like a hug. How? Here, he gives an example. The arm is one. The next, from the elbow to the hand is another one, and the tefach is here. So you go around and give him a hug. Here's a hug. That's a hug. That's HaKadosh Baruch Hu giving us a hug in the sukkah. We feel. What happened?
I'm having a picture problem. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you understand? That's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu is giving us the hug. We should have to feel HaKadosh Baruch Hu's embrace when we're in the sukkah. To feel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and just to remember these times, right? As we're thinking about different things you could think of for other, when thoughts come into your mind. So think of sitting in the sukkah. Why not? That's a beautiful thing. Right? Think of sitting in the sukkah, think of the Dalet Minim, you're standing with your beautiful weaponry, right? The Dalet Minim is our true weaponry, right? We go out there, we go to battle with the Sitracha, with the weaponry. The sukkah is also, right? Sukkah, in the Torah it says, "Sukkah is teishu shivas yam." Sukkah is spelled samach kaf sof, right? Samach kaf sof, right? Sukkos, right? Without a vav, there's no vav in there. The Torah, it doesn't have the vav in there, right? Okay. So the Kava Yosha says, why is that? Because he brings down from the Zoya, because that's the gematria of 480. Okay. And he says that the Satan has his wife. His wife's name starts with a lamed. Yeah, we don't have to say. We all know. We know. We know. We're not supposed to say that name. We don't give any credence. We don't mention that name. Right? Right? Also 480. 480. Exactly. Very good. He got it. Yeah. And the Zoya says that she has 480 different camps of mashchisim that are going around trying to get us. You understand? So what we do is right after Yom Kippur, we have the law, go build a sukkah, right? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu forgave us on Yom Kippur, right? He forgave us. Now we right away go work on the sukkah to have our 480 against her 480. Our 480 against her 480. You see how it's unbelievable. Hashem sets us up everything, and then when we can sit in the sukkah and we can have a simcha, right? The whole idea of sukkah is v'samachta v'chayes is sukkah, right? The whole idea of sukkah is simcha, right? Why is sukkah the holiday of simcha? Because we have to work on coming back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu with simcha. We have to come back to Hashem, come close to Hashem with simcha. Not because we're scared we're going to get punished. No, we want to come close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu with love. We want to come close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to feel the love that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has for us. That's why Hashem makes the sukkah that way, 2 walls and a tefach, like a hug. He's showing us that He loves us, and now we have to show that we love Him. Why? Because if we do that, then all of our iniquities turn into merits. And then we come to Ishana Rabbah, we can come to a great, the verdict goes out, right? If you think about it, Hashem doesn't send out the verdict on Yom Kippur. Do you ever think of that? Why doesn't Hashem? In other words, if the whole thing was stamped, right? It was written down on Rosh Hashanah, and it was stamped, it was sealed on Yom Kippur, but it stays on His desk. He doesn't send it out.
The book isn't closed.
No, He doesn't send it out. In other words, everyone's verdict is stamped, right? Whatever's going to be is stamped, but He doesn't send it out. You ever think of that? Why? Why does He only send it out on Hoshana Rabbah?
So I can improve it in between.
He's giving us more time to change the verdict. We can change it. We can change it. We can change it. So
Can it be a worse
no. Again, if you have your simcha now,
yeah,
then you're not going to make it worse. You think good. Think good. Think positive.
What way is by being besimcha in the sukkah, right?
By being besimcha on the holiday, not just in the whatever you're doing, when you're davening, whatever you're doing. What's that noise?
Sprinkler somewhere.
It's a
gardener, a weed whacker. Yeah. Okay. And so we understand all these different ideas here, right? All these happen through clarifying our thoughts, right? Because if we're thinking about all the other stuff. Right, so we can't have the simcha. We're not going to have the simcha. We're not going to feel connected to Hashem. We're not going to realize that the hug from our colors. But we're not going to realize all these things. And that's why we're learning. It's so important to clarify the mind so much so make it so pure. Make it so pure. And then we learn that you don't let the things back in. Once you clean it up, don't let anything else in. How? Because we know if it comes in even a hair's breadth, dispel it. Discharge it. Get rid of it. Change the thought. Think of the sukkah. Think of Yom Kippur. Think of Rosh Hashanah. Think of the shofar. Think of your tefillin. Think of whatever you want, whatever thing you can think of. Think of something else. Learn something. Say a pasuk in Tefillin. Say whatever you'd like to do. Of course, do something. What? Do a chesed. Yeah. Yeah, Rabbi Nachman says that Rabbi Nachman says like this, he writes in Siddur, like if a person realizes that he made an Aveira chas v'shalom, right? So what should you do right away? So right away, give a proof of a tzedakah, say a kapitel Tehillim, say a Mishnah, right? Say a Mishnah. Why? Because he said Aveira is Geireres Aveira, right? One Aveira causes another Aveira. Right? Because the Aveira says, hey, listen, when a person does an Aveira chas v'shalom, he creates an evil malach. Right? He creates an evil angel. Now the evil angel says, hey, you created me, you have to take care of me. How do you take care of me? You have to do another Aveira to take care of that malach. But Rabbi Nachman says, stop it right away. You did something wrong. Okay, that was a minute ago. Now do something else. Do a mitzvah now. Break it. Break that off. Don't let it keep going. The same idea with the thought that comes in the mind. Stop it. Think something else. Don't let it keep going. Because once it keeps going, if you just think you indulge the thought, then it's going to get too strong, and then you're going to have a lot of trouble to get rid of it. Right? Then you have to start the whole process with the funnel, and then you're gonna have to start with the sieve, and then you're gonna have to start to sift it 13 times again. Just keep it clean. Just keep it simple and keep it clean. That's the idea. Okay. Now, okay. Lahachniam ulevatlam ulahachriach hamayach sheyosef lemachshavos ksheiros v'taharos. bring in your mind. Again, subdue all the other ideas by bringing in good, clean, holy thoughts. Bring in good, clean, holy thoughts. By yedei koyach ha'sa'areis hakadoshos, through the hairs of the beard again, the sa'areis hakadoshos, shel adikna kadisha, shemisham koyach, kol ha'etzos ha'mitiyim v'atamimos, like we said the other day, that again, we don't have to worry about anything. It's not upon us to worry about anything. We just keep connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, think about Hashem, and then that's all we have to do. And change the thought. Don't fight the thought, because if the thought is there and you're going to fight it, it's going to get stronger and stronger. So all I could do is change it. And I think we'll stop over here today, because we have to do things with the kids today, Baruch Hashem. It's a Chalamite. So everyone have a Moadim l'simcha, I get moed.
Good moed.